Well, that video is from Iran last week. Protesters in Tehran chanting "Death to America." And now we're seeing that chilling anti-American sentiment here at home in America. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators chanting "Death to America, Death to Israel" at a rally, not in Tehran, but in Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan, to be exact. A city that the Wall Street Journal has already branded as the jihad capital of the U.S. A protester there attacking America for supporting Israel and then quoting Malcolm X, saying that the U.S. is, quote, one of the rottenest countries that has ever existed on this earth. I mean, it's chilling to think about, Kennedy. And from some perspective on Dearborn, I want to bring this up from the Wall Street Journal, because these chants were happening before the offensive happened in Gaza, the retaliatory offensive by Israel. Check this out. Welcome to Dearborn, America's jihad capital. Almost immediately after October 7th, long before Israel began its ground offensive in Gaza, people were celebrating the horrific events of the day and pro-Hamas rallies and marches through Dearborn. A local headline describing an October 10th event at the Ford Performing Arts Center read, "Michigan rally cheers Hamas attack." To be clear, that is the attack where babies were found in ovens.
Yes, absolutely. And they will not acknowledge that attack. They will not acknowledge what has happened in the wake of that and whether or not Israel has the right to defend itself from that attack. That was the inflection point. But now they're calling for genocide. And I understand this is protected speech. It doesn't mean that I condone it. It doesn't mean that I'm excited about it. I'm absolutely disgusted by it. And what I want to know is these are people who are just mired not only in feelings, but very, very angry, hostile feelings that I want to know what their vision for the country is. So let's say America's awful. Let's say this place sucks and they just want to level it. What are you going to replace it with? How will my life and the lives of my children and my family be better under your vision? I don't trust that because they don't have one, and they don't want peace. They don't want happiness. They just want eradication.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Ainsley. One protester said it's not Genocide Joe that has to go. It's the entire system that has to go.
Well, if you don't like America and you want death to America, why are you in America? Why are you here in this country? If you're going to chant things like that, this country is a wonderful country, has given us all amazing jobs. Our dreams have come true because of this country. I think October 7th was one of the saddest moments in history for all of us. We all had nightmares about it. Everyone at home did. We had to watch videos and hear things about babies in ovens, things that we want to erase. Yeah. It was really hard. I think that Joe Biden is now, because he's watching all these uncommitted votes, I think he's abandoning Israel now. And I think that he cares more about these votes than he does on the war on terror. We had a family who their son is one of the hostages. Don't forget, they said. Always when you talk about this war, talk about the hostages, 133 of them. There was a ceasefire on October 6th. October 7th, Hamas changed all of that. This is what war looks like. It's sad when innocent people die, but I would hope America would do the same thing that Israel did if it happened here.
Harris, I think that's so well said. And the hostages, that's where my mind goes back to. I saw this last night from Avi Meyer. The fact that there have been 134 people, including toddlers and elderly people, Jews, Muslims, those of other faiths, held hostage by Hamas in Gaza for 6 months is inconceivable. The fact that freeing them isn't everyone's top priority is unconscionable. Bring them home now. I would love to know where Kafir Bibas is, 1-year-old Kafir Bibas.
I want to know where all of them are right now. You know, we found out that the number was 134, like 96 hours ago, and then they turned over the body of one of the hostages. Hamas did. So we don't really know what the number is. We pray that it's still 133. I had on an Israeli cabinet member last hour, and I asked him, how do you get the world to focus on the hostages? I mean, the world, there should be a global effort putting pressure on Hamas. It shouldn't be about Biden trying to find his foreign policy on the issue. This should be about all of humanity demanding that they give up those people. I mean, imagine if they put a baby in the oven, what they're doing with the baby that they have now. I mean, why isn't the world incensed by this? And look, war has collateral damage. He said this minister from the Israeli cabinet, Nir Barkat. But I will say that if you're going to then demand that they do something different, then at the same time, you'll never win those votes in Michigan and Minnesota, those uncommitteds, because you're giving them weapons. I mean, Biden is so duplicitous on this. So all of our foreign policy woes aside, let's fight to get the hostages. Can't we agree on that?
Yeah, it is a bit muddled. You know, Jake Sullivan reportedly will be meeting with the families of some of the U.S. hostages tonight. But at the same time, they're trying to win back that vote in Michigan.
About 2 weeks ago, we were told that there are 99 hostages, and that came from Benjamin Netanyahu's office. I don't know if it's 99. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But you're talking about numbers in Michigan on the 28th of February during the Democratic primary. You had 100,000 uncommitted votes cast by Democratic primary voters. Joe Biden won the state by a grand total of 154,000 in 2020. That's the political lens on this. With regard to this chant, Death to America chant, that was a gentleman by the name of Tariq Bazzi, Michigan-based activist. And he quoted Malcolm X, who said the United States is one of the, quote, rottenest countries that has ever existed on earth, are arguing to eliminate the entire American system. I think the only number we need to be concerned with through all of this right now is whether it's 134 or 132 or whether it's 99 or more or less. That's why you had thousands of people shouting down Jerry Nadler outside the UN on Sunday. And that's why you have tens of thousands of people who are rallying in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv to keep the focus on those hostages.
Yeah, a 1-year-old who has spent half of his life in captivity. So please pray for Kafir Bibas along with all of the hostages. My family does every night.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.